What's up, YouTube? Bluff City here, back with another one. So, Starbucks is in the news. Why? Because they are laying off over 900 employees and closing hundreds of stores. Yeah, didn't see this coming because competition is on the rise. Well, that's not the main reason. We'll find out later in the video why, because I don't want to spoil it for y'all. But before I get into any of these TikToks, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe so you don't miss any more content from me, because I promise you, you don't want to miss it at all. I guarantee it. So with that being said, let's get into this first video.
Starbucks is doing a restructuring, and to do that, they're going to close 59 unionized stores, which is 10% of their stores. Um, go
I didn't know 10% of the stores were unionized. I had no idea.
look up how much their CEO makes. He made hold on, let me look. Oh yeah, he made 100 million in 4 months last year. Okay. The average employee makes about $16 an hour, which comes out to like $33,000 a year before taxes. Okay? And this dude's making 100 million in a couple months. Oh, and fun fact, the CEO, he lives in Newport Beach, California, but Starbucks headquarters is in Seattle. So Starbucks pays for a private jet so he can come in for meetings and stuff. Because, he's so important. He's definitely doing way more work than the people who stand on their feet for 8 hours and get yelled at by customers and scrub the floors and the toilets and make all the drinks and clean and cook and do all the things. Yeah, I'm sure he definitely just has to work so much harder, from his mansion at the beach. And then he just flies on the plane whenever he has to come in for a quick meeting, and then he can just go right back home. Must be nice. I am so sick and tired of these companies operating like this. We have to stop supporting these companies. If you need coffee, make your own or go to a local shop. We have to stop feeding the monster. This capitalistic monster. It's an insatiable black hole that will never be filled, and I am so sick of the greed. If you can't pay your employees a livable wage, and you're out here making $100 million in a few months, I'm sorry, no. That is absurd. You should be embarrassed. That's embarrassing, that level of greed.
Yeah, okay, that's enough out of her. Now, one thing I will agree, if you are sick of big corporations and all that stuff, then yeah, you should shop local. Hell, I like shopping and buying local all the time. It may cost a little bit more since they're a smaller business, but I love the local beer here in Memphis. I love local coffee here in Memphis. I don't really drink coffee, but they have other drinks at coffee shops, not just coffee, but you get the idea. But also, like her being mad, the CEO, like people got to cut that out because you being mad at the CEO for making $100 million. I mean, he's a CEO. Of course, he's gonna make the most money out of everybody. And don't think just because y'all are dealing with the customers and making the coffee and stuff that y'all are working harder than the CEO. That's absolutely absurd. I mean, the CEO, he's the one's making all the business decisions and having the meetings and figuring out where to budget money here, there. I mean, y'all are just making the coffee. Y'all are at the bottom where y'all are very replaceable. I know not a lot of people want to hear that, but this is how a lot of companies view their employees who are entry level. They're not as important simply because you're easily replaceable. It's not easy to replace or at least I don't think it is, to easily replace a CEO because not everyone is qualified for that position. Anyone can learn to make coffee. I mean, hell, you can do it at home, but a lot of people choose to go spend $8, $9 to have someone make it for them on a beverage that probably costs only like 50 cents to make. But uh what the hell do I know? Let's just move on.
Happened. Starbucks Reserve Roastery in Seattle is closed. There were 6 Starbucks Reserve Roasteries in the world. The first one that ever opened is the one in Seattle. I worked at this location for 2 years. They closed this morning without any notice. Staff literally showed up to the store at 5 a.m. and the store was closed and boarded up. I guess they closed an hour early last night, telling all of the staff that it was for maintenance, but they were actually just going to board up all the windows and close permanently. There's over 100 people that work at that store. My heart goes out to all the people that lost their jobs today. I have a lot of opinions on Starbucks, none of which are good. So a majority of the articles say that the reasoning for the closing was to reallocate funds to different stores. This is the most BS excuse I've ever heard. It's obviously because they are a union store. They've been pushing the union for long before I even worked there. And supposedly the Starbucks union was planning a 3-week strike coming up. I mean, it's no shocker that they closed. And it's also no shocker that you thought Starbucks was going to care enough to give you a heads up. They've never given anyone a heads up when closing a store. I'm not shocked or surprised, and the Wicked Witch is dead.
Listen, I can agree that it is pretty fucked up how they just close stores without notice, because especially since they want employees to give 2-week notices, like at every company. But at the same time, I remember, like, even some of the Starbucks out here in Memphis, I remember workers unionizing at certain locations. And even then I was thinking, this cannot end well when people are unionizing for an entry level job that doesn't require much skill at all. And what did the higher ups at Starbucks decide to do? There's like, okay, every single store that these stores that are unionized and are maybe not making as much money, give them the axe. No notice, no nothing. Now, losing your job is no laughing matter. I will never laugh at someone for losing their jobs, but for these people who were wanting to unionize at Starbucks of all places, did you think the higher ups is really going to be happy about that? Do you think they really want y'all unionizing, and it was going to really pull through it, and they're going to give y'all demands? Like, come on. I remember seeing this in real time for a very long time, and I'm telling you, I just kept thinking to myself, yeah, this ain't going to end well. This ain't going to end well for them, because the higher ups is just going to look at them and be like, man, fuck these people. Fuck them. Why should I give them demands? I'll just find some people that'll just do it for less, and they probably will. Like, if I'm just being for real with y'all.
Girls, they down the Starbucks at their school. I was literally about to start crying, bro. I'm looking at the maps because I'm with my girl. We got out of school. Hello. And I'm looking and I'm like, looking at Starbucks and it's like permanently closed. What are we gonna do, bro?
The love of our life. Bro.
What are we gonna do, bro? Like, take my ex and bring back Starbucks, bro. Take my ex and bring back Starbucks, bro. Like, what the fuck? This is actually insane. So I thought they were not gonna close down ours. I seen that on TikTok, bro. I was like, they're not closing down ours, bro.
And they did.
And they did.
Such a after.
So now, what are we gonna drink? What are we gonna do? We're gonna have to go. Is there even a Starbucks around here?
Yeah, like
all the way in
Lakeshore.
No, Lakeshore is right here. Emerville. Girls, we're
Okay, that's enough. What y'all can do, learn to make coffee yourselves. Go to Dunkin' Donuts. They're a lot cheaper and you probably get more coffee. Go to a locally owned coffee shop. Yeah, maybe support them instead. Try them out. But some tells me these two airheads are not going to do that. Like, what are we going to do? Oh my God. Yeah, airheads.
I'm finna lie. I've been seeing all these little TikToks and everything. Why are y'all closing Starbucks? I know damn well, Mr. CEO. For one, why would you do that to them people? Because they are so unaware that you are sitting there about to close down. And I know you're not finna tell me that's not no billion or $1 million corporation, because we know it is. Starbucks makes money because people love coffee. Baby, y'all have coffee every morning. Not every morning. A refresher. But still, it's just the principle of the situation. And I'm just sitting right here watching all their videos, and it's just so sad. Because how you gonna sit right there and do that, bro? Like, you're playing with people's money. Y'all have them cleaning up y'all's store just to fire them an hour later is ridiculous as hell. Another thing too, I don't feel as if they should be doing that. I understand y'all trying to rebrand and do all this and then the third. They don't mean close all these stores and sit right there and do that. That's so unprofessional and unthoughtful of the next person. Y'all are literally sitting here firing over 900 people and closing over 100,000. Let me fix myself. Wait a minute. 1,100 stores is ridiculous. Y'all better keep that shit out of Chicago because we don't got time. We drink coffee around here. But I feel so bad for y'all.
So not only are almost 1,000 people getting laid off with like a 3-day notice at Starbucks, but some of these people were told that they can't even reapply until December 6th. Most of them, it's October 6th, but some of them it's December 6th before they're allowed to reapply. And I think that's fucking insane. So it seems like it's varying based on state and store what their severance packages were looking at. Some people said that they were getting like 60 hours severance. Some people said they were getting 2 months. Imagine you just got let go of from your job, very short notice, and they tell you you can't even come back for like 2-3 months. So what the fuck are you supposed to do in the meantime? That's actually insane. Imagine not caring about your workers, your partners to that degree. Oh my God, I just can't believe how fucking crazy that is. They literally didn't even get a week notice, dude. That's
Like I said earlier, it's messed up that they didn't give these employees enough time to prepare themselves for this. I stand on that. That's pretty fucked up. If you're gonna shut down a store, if you're on a corporate owned, fast food, coffee shop, whatever the hell, at least have the common courtesy to give the employees enough time to prepare for this. So if they got to find another job, they have one lined up. So when this place closes, they won't be in a jam at least. You know, I will say that, but at the same time, like, people have to really stop expecting these big corporations that they work for, that they go every day to punch the clock and, just work there in misery and woe, that company gives a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't have to give a fuck about you. They will chew you up and spit you out at a moment's notice and not think twice about it. Because at the end of the day, you are expendable. You're replaceable. They can have someone else in your position tomorrow. And all they care about is their bottom line. All they care about is profits. All they care about is making sure they're not in the red if they have to make cuts, meaning fire hundreds, maybe even thousands of people just to save a few bucks. They'll do it. And not think of you in mind. That's just how cutthroat they are.
Talk about the fact that Starbucks has been doing this downsizing or whatever they're calling it. I don't even know. We talked about it for the first time at my store today, that I've heard about anyways, since I've been. I remember whenever I first heard that Starbucks was like gonna be doing that and everyone was finding out like that week or last week or this week or whatever, if they're gonna get let go or whatever, if their store's gonna shut down. And I remember like going through my head, I was like, okay, logistically thinking, like they wouldn't shut down my store because they just opened it. And allegedly they're shutting down stores that are not profitable. And I was like, I mean, we're not profitable yet, but our store is still like an investment. Like it's still in the phase of like, oh, it's gonna make money. It just hasn't yet because like people are just now figuring out that we're there. We're like in the woods. The sign, you can't really see it till you're right up on it because of the trees and everything that's around. So I was like, surely to goodness that's not mine. Now there's a couple more in my district that I was like, they could go, but I mean, we'll take them at our store. We'll take them. But I truly like the sadness and anger that I feel for everyone that just like got told with maybe a week's notice. I don't even think a full week's notice that they don't have a job anymore. And let me tell you, as someone who's been fired before and did not expect to get it, it's rough when that happens to you, especially if you're like paycheck to paycheck, you don't have a big bulk of savings going on or anything like that. And people, you have to keep in mind, Starbucks has a program where people can go to college. So it's not even their bills that they're losing, it's also their college where they're trying to get out of Starbucks. And I've been seeing like the drama and the rumors that like it's union busting, which I don't think that's kind of too far fetched. Now, I did bring this up to my store manager this morning when we were talking about it, and she was like, I thought the same thing, but no, which she probably honestly has to say that. She probably has to say no. But she said it's stores that aren't profitable. I've clocked a few of the stores that have been affected by this, and like the Starbucks Reserve, you're telling me that the Starbucks Reserve is not profitable to the point where they shut down the OG store. I mean, I guess.
Of course, it's BS. It's absolute BS. They were talking to her in corporatese. It's all corporatese. Yeah, we're firing you. Fuck you. Tough shit. That's basically what they told these people. Yeah. Thanks for working for us. We appreciate all your cheap labor. You got to get the fuck out. Oh boy, boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Now, I genuinely do hope these people who just lost their jobs do find employment, but it's going to be easier said than done, especially nowadays when finding a job is harder than ever because there are more people looking for jobs versus jobs available in today's time, and people are just racing to try to get employment, and a lot of employers have so many options to pick from. They have to go through so many people. It's like, okay, do we need this person, or we can just use this person instead? Or no, 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 we can take this person instead. Or no, 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 we'll take this person. Or no, 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 we'll take this. It's absolute madness, and people are doing what they can to try to cut corners to jump to the front of the line to finally get that interview for the possibility of landing employment. And even that employment is not even guaranteed to last. You probably get part time at best because not a lot of places are offering full time positions anymore because they can't afford to, or at least what they say, they can't afford to have a lot of people in full time. That's why a majority of people are just working part time and have to get a second part time job to make ends meet. It's fucked up. I mean, but there's not much we can do about it. That's just how it is if you're looking for a job out there. But with that being said, I'm gonna end the video right there. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, I really do appreciate it. Make sure you guys hit the Linktree link in my description so you can follow me on other social media platforms as well as support me directly via Cash App or PayPal. If you choose to do so, I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I will shout you out in my next video. That is a promise. But that being said, y'all be safe out there. Please check on your loved ones. Have a good one. Peace.